Welcome to our new class, that is in our chapter 3 plant kingdom. We are come to the next plant group, that is gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are called as naked seeds. Okay, gymno means naked and sperma means seed. So gymnosperms are naked seed and in which the ovules are enclosed by ovary wall. Normally the ovules are enclosed by ovary wall, but in case of this gymnosperm, the ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall. Hence it is naked in nature. Okay, and the remain which are exposed before and after fertilization. So even before fertilization and after fertilization, the ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall. Then seeds that developed after the post fertilization are also not covered. Okay, ovules are not covered, and after fertilization seeds will produce. These seeds are also not covered. Okay, so naked seeds. So these are the ovules which are not covered by the ovary walls. These green colors all are ovules. Okay. Now, this is the normal angiospermic structure of an ovule. So this is the ovule and it is covered by the ovary wall and integuments. This is the normal case. See the gymnosperm, it is not covered by any ovary or any integuments. Then if you look the habit, it can be of a medium sized tree to large sized tree. Okay, so they include medium sized tree or tall trees and shrub. Giant sequoia or giant redwood. Giant sequoia or giant redwood. Okay, this is the tallest tree species in the world. Look, this is the tallest tree species which is present in the world, that is giant sequoia or giant redwood. Then the roots are generally tap root system. So the general root system of gymnosperms are tap root system. Okay, and in some gymnosperms these root may contain some fungal association. Okay, some gymnosperms root may have some association with fungi or maybe some association with algae. Root in some genera have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza. So, example pinus. Okay, so the plant pinus, that is the gymnosperm pinus, which contain the fungal association in their root in the form of mycorrhiza. Then in plants cycas, okay, in pinus there is a fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza. In cycas there is a algal, that is cyanobacteria association in their specialized root. Okay, cycas there is a cyanobacterial association. The cyanobacteria which is present in the root of cycas is nostoc. Okay, nostoc and anabina are the two cyanobacteria which is present in the root of cycas. The root of cycas are called coralloid root. Root of cycas are called coralloid root due to the association with cyanobacteria, and the cyanobacteria has the ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, so that these coralloid root are able to nitrogen fixation. Okay, so nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria is associated in the root of cycas. That specialized roots are called coralloid root. So this is Cycas revolata. This is the cycas plant, and this is the root of cycas which having the cyanobacterial association. Okay, the root are called coralloid root. Then the stem. Stem of gymnosperms are of two types. It can be unbranched stems or it can be branched stem. Okay, cycas. This is cycas. Cycas is an example for unbranched gymnosperms, whereas Pinus and citrus. This is pinus and this is citrus. They are the example for branched gymnosperm. So stems can be unbranched or stem can be branched. The unbranched type of stem are called cycas. The branched stems are called pinus or citrus. Okay, then leaves. Leaves can be simple or compound. Leaf can be simple leaf or compound leaf. They are well developed to withstand extreme temperature, humidity and wind. Okay, so these leaves can be simple leaf or compound leaf. You will study all these terms, simple, compound, in your upcoming classes, that is in morphology. They are well developed to withstand extreme temperature, humidity and wind. Okay, cycas, the pinnate leaf. Pinnate leaf means this is pinnate leaves. Pinnate leaves persists for a few years. So this is Cycas revoluta, and in these leaves may remain for few years in the plant itself. In conifers, that is these are conifers. Okay, in conifers, the pinus and citrus etc., they have a needle like leaves. Okay, pinus and citrus have a needle like leaves. Then their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also helps to reduce the water loss. Okay, so these pinus and citrus have a needle-like leaves and they have the cuticular covering and sunken stomata, which helps in the reduction of transpiration so that water loss may reduce. Then, so these are about the general features of gymnosperm. So gymnosperm are called as naked seeds because the ovules are not enclosed by ovary wall. So after fertilization, the ovules will become seeds. So seeds are also not covered by the seed walls. Okay, so they are naked seeds. Then this is the comparison of a gymnosperm ovule and angiospermic ovule. So gymnosperm ovule have no covering. Angiosperm ovule has a covering of ovary walls and integuments. Then the habitat can be it has of a shrub or medium sized trees or large sized trees. Okay, example giant sequoia. Giant sequoia is the tallest tree species or giant redwood. Then come to the root part. Mainly the root or taproot system, and it has fungal or algal association. The fungal association which is present in the root of pinus in the form of mycorrhiza. Then come to the plant cycas. Cycas has a specialized root called corloid root, and it has an association with the cyanobacteria that have the ability for the fixation of nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, into ammonia. Okay, the major type of cyanobacteria which is present in the corloid root is nostoc and anabaena. Then stems can be branched or unbranched. Example for unbranched is cycas. Example for branch is pinus or citrus. Then leaves are simple or compound. Okay, so there is well adaptation to withstand the extreme temperature, humidity and wind. In cycas, the pinnate leaves are remain for a few years, and in pinus and citrus, the needle-like leaves which has a thick cuticle and sunken stomata, which remains the water in the plant by decreasing the transpiration level. Then come to the reproduction part. Okay, gymnosperms are heterosporous. In our last class, in pteridophytes, Selaginella and Salvinia are the two plant group having heterosporous condition. Okay, so gymnosperms are heterosporous. What is heterosporous? Having two type of spore, that is microspore as well as megaspore. So they produce haploid microspores and megaspores. Okay, so that's why we call the condition as heterosporous. Some leaves are modified into sporophylls. That we know that what are sporophylls? Spore bearing. Okay, more precisely sporangia bearing leaves are called sporophylls. They are compactly and spirally arranged along a long axis to form a lax or strobili or cone. So this is cone. So center of this cone is an axis, and in that axis these microspores or megaspores are spirally arranged to form a cone. Okay, there is also called as strobili or lax. So some leaves are modified into sporophylls. They are compactly and spirally arranged along an axis to form a strobili or cone. Okay, so this is the male strobili and this is the female strobili. Look, from the appearance itself we can easily differentiate which one is male strobili and which one is female strobili. These are the strobili pictures of cycas plant. Okay. Then the sporophylls. We know what are sporophylls? Sporophylls which bear sporangia. Inside the sporangia, spores are produced. Okay, sporophylls are of two types. That is microsporophylls and megasporophylls. This is the structure of a male cone. Okay, so if you take the cross section or longitudinal section, you can get, this is the central axis which bears the central axis. The microsporophylls are spirally arranged. So we will get a picture like this. Okay, so these globular shaped structures are called microsporangium that are present on the microsporophyll. Inside that microsporangium, microspores are produced. Microspores also called as pollen grains. Okay, so this is the structure of male cone. So this is a central axis. These globular shaped structure are called microsporangium. Inside the microsporangium, microspores produce. Microspore also called as pollen grains, and these microsporangium are present in the leaf called microsporophyll. So this is the structure of female cone. Okay, so then the structure of male cone is entirely different from the structure of female cone. Female cone are called as megasporophylls. Okay, first one, microsporophylls. Okay, they are arranged to form male strobili. So microsporophylls are spirally arranged along the axis to form male strobili. Male strobili also known as microsporangiate. Male strobili also known as microsporangiate. Okay, so these microsporangiate bear microsporangia. Male strobili also called as microsporangiate. It bear microsporangia. Inside the microsporangia, microspores will produce. Those microspores are called pollen grains. The microspores develop into gametophyte. So microspores, that is pollen grains. Okay. Actually, microspores are pollen grains. These microspores are developed into male gametophyte. Okay, it is highly reduced and confined to only a limited number of cells. So this division happen only in a limited number of cells. So this male gametophyte is called pollen grain. So more precisely, if we are saying male gametophyte is pollen grain, but microspores are generally pollen grains. So, microsporophylls that are arranged along the axis to form a male strobili or microsporangiate, and they bear microsporangia. Inside the microsporangia, microspores produce. Okay, these microspores may develop to form male gametophyte called pollen grain. So, the initial stage of pollen grain are called microspore. Okay, the initial stage of pollen grain is called microspore. Once it is developed or once it is mature, we will call them as male gametophyte, that is pollen grain. Then the pollen grains are developed within the microsporangia. The pollen grains are developed within the microsporangia. So these are about microsporophyll. Come to megasporophyll. They are arranged to form female strobili. Just like microsporophyll, megasporophylls are arranged in the axis to form a female strobili, also called as macrosporogenate, and they bear megasporangia. also called as ovules. Okay, microsporangia, and here this is megasporangia. The megasporangium mainly consists of a body called nucellus. The megasporangium consists of a body called nucellus, and it is protected by envelope. So nucellus is protected by envelope. Okay, then the megaspore mother cell is produced from or differentiated from some cells of the nucellus. Megasporangium mainly consists of a body called nucellus, and these nucellus are protected by several envelope. Okay, so from the nucellus, one or two cells become differentiated to form megaspore mother cell. So from the nucellus, one or two cells differentiated to form megaspore mother cell. Megaspore mother cells which undergo meiosis to form 4 megaspores. Megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division to form 4 megaspores. One of the megaspore enclosed with the megasporangium, that is nucellus, which developed into a multicellular female gametophyte which bear 2 or more archegonia. Okay, so megaspore mother cells, actually megaspore mother cells are formed from the cells of the nucellus, and these megaspore mother cells which undergo meiotic division to form 4 megaspores. Among that 4 megaspores, one will become enclosed with nucellus or megasporangium, and it developed into form female gametophyte. Those female gametophyte which bear 2 or more archegonia. Okay, so the multicellular female gametophyte is retained within the megasporangium. The multicellular female gametophyte. Okay, female gametophyte is in here, it is ovules. Okay, so these ovules are present within the megasporangium. So the male or female corn may be born on the same tree. Okay, the male corn or the female corn can be present on the same plant. Example, pinus, or it can be form on different plants. Example, cypress. Okay, so the male or female corn may be born on the same trees. Example, pinus, and the male or female corn can be present on different trees. Example, cycas. So unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes, if you compare bryophyte and pteridophyte, in gymnosperm, the male and female gametophyte do not have a independent free living existence. Okay, so if you look bryophyte and pteridophyte, so particular period is only for gametophytic period and particular period is only for sporophytic period. But in this case, that is in gymnosperm, there is no such independent free living stages are there. Okay, so they remain within the sporangia retained on the sporophyte. So both the gametophyte as well as sporophyte stage are all together. There is no free living stages for gametophyte itself or sporophyte itself. Okay, the pollen grains which is released from the microsporangium. The pollen grains are released from the microsporangium, and these pollen grains may travel through the air current and which come into contact with the opening of ovules which is present on the megasporophyll. The pollen grains are released from microsporangium which travel through the air and reaches the megasporophyll and come into contact with the ovules. The pollen tube may germinate, and these pollen tube which contain male gametes, they grow towards the archegonium which is present in the ovule. The pollen grains will germinate pollen tube, and the pollen tube contain male gametes, and male gametes containing pollen tube will grow towards the archegonia which is present in the ovule. Once it reaches the archegonia, these pollen tube tip may burst and it discharges the contents near the mouth of the archegonia. Okay, so the tip of the pollen tube may burst and releases the contents into the tip of the contents into the mouth of the archegonia. So after that, the male gamete will fuse with the egg. As a result, fertilization takes place. So fertilization, after fertilization, zygote will develop, and zygote undergo divisions to form embryo, and finally the ovules will become seeds. Okay, but the main thing is the seed is not covered with seed coat, that is naked seed, because there is no ovary wall is present, only ovules are naked, so that there is only seeds. Okay, there is no fruit wall or there is no ovary wall. So these are about gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are very easy. Okay, so these are about gymnosperms. It is a link between the compared to pteridophyte and bryophyte. In gymnosperm there is more character which is similar, or which may have more features like with angiosperm. Okay, so these are about gymnosperm. In our next class we will discuss angiospermic group of plant.